In this little movie I will show you how to work with a multi-language site for the Humana templates. A multi-language site will normally have two languages or more, and they will be represented by a little flag. By now the default is French, and you can see that up here, and as soon as you click English this will change up here, and the part of the website that you have translated will then show in the other language. First of all, I will tell you how to work with your primary language. In this case for Congo it is French, and you have to understand the difference between what you see on the site. At the top you have a menu, and you see these are all in French except the home button. Then you have some content and you have some modules. Modules are small programs that are set up and display certain content onto your website, and you have a couple of more modules down here. Here you can see a module in the primary language French that has the incorrect language, and we will have to change that as well in the original language. So we have a module with an incorrect language, and we have a menu point with an incorrect language, and this is the primary language I'm talking about now, not the translation. So for now I will go to the backside of Joomla, where I have already signed in with a username and password, and first of all I want to correct this home to the correct word in French on the primary language. It's a menu, and you see the house, which means it's the main menu. I click on that, and here I will see the home, and this is what I want to change to the French word for home. I'm using a little bit Google translation here, so if it's incorrect you have to go back and change that yourself. So in the primary language you just change it like the primary language in Joomla, and if I now refresh this it will show this in French. Further down, these are all contents like articles, so this we don't talk about now. And then we have some modules down here, and here is a module called subscribe to our newsletter. So the primary module extension module manager will show me at the moment I will show all types. So there must be something here. There is one called subscribe to our newsletter. So this is the title of this module, and this should have been in French as it is the primary language. Again, I have used my Google translation, and you can go in here and correct this yourself later if it's incorrect. So I changed the title for this module. If this module have this in kind of settings, and as you see here I have a name and email, and this is what is displayed here, so you can change this too as well to show in French. When I'm done I do save and close, and I do a refresh, and now this has changed. So at the moment I'm pretty happy with my French version. All the menu points are correct, all the module titles are correct, and if it is any error you know now how to go in and correct the module title and the menu title. Now the primary language is okay. Now I want to tell you about the translation to your secondary language, and in this case this will be English. If I click this, I can see that I have partially translated something here. Where we are has something that is not translated, and then all these menus here are translated, except the home button as well, because we have just changed the French version for it. Your second language translation is stored under components, and it's a component called Falang. This is where you do all the translation. So every time you want to do something on your secondary language, this is where you go. I click the translation, and at the moment I want to translate it to English, which is the only secondary language here. And then I have a drop-down menu here, and there are 3 interesting selections here. One would be modules, how to translate the titles of your modules. Menus, how to translate all your menus on your website. Article, how to translate all the articles on your website. I will start with menus. So as soon as I click English and menus, I get listed everything down here. First in the original language, which will be French, and later the translation that I have done. State means if I have translated it or not. Published means if it is active on the website or not. Let's start with this one, which means home. If I click on home, I get the chance to translate it. So the original language is this, the translation is home. I also have to fill in the alias, and the alias, the best way to fill it out at any point is just to say copy. It will take the same as the original, but at least it will fill out the space. Alias is normally what is then showed up here in the URL. It's not important, so always use the copy button for now. I translated, alias has been copied, and I click this for publish. Save and close. Now it says state and published. If I now go back, I'm on the English version. If I refresh it, okay, I misspelled it. I wrote hope. So of course I will go back again and not write hope, but write home. Everything is filled in. Save and close. I go back here and I refresh it, and the English version now say home. Again, I have something down here under who we are that is in French. This should be in English. This is a menu, so still I should be able to find it down here somewhere on the list, and here we have it. It's not translated, so I click on it. Again, I use Google Translation. So translate to English. You can come in here and correct this later if it's the wrong way to say it. I copy this alias because it must never be blank. I publish it, save and close. I can then refresh it. And when the page has loaded, still loading up there, I can take my mouse over, and now it has changed the title in this menu. So at any point you can go down here and see for any red mark and see if this is something that needs to be translated. This is obviously not active in the French version. Looking down, how to add news, log in, log out. I go to page 2, news from the project. It's obviously in English already and is probably not used on the website. Sometimes you get a yellow light instead of a green. That means that since last time I did the translation of this menu point, I have done some additions in French. And I just basically open it and I copy down this if it is missing. And I click save and close. And now it is green again. So if you see a red, if you don't think that is needed, jump over it. If you see a yellow, open it just to see that the translation is all correct and the alias is filled out. This is the menu. Now I will go into modules. This will list all the active modules on the website. Again, there are 2 pages. And here you have all the modules title in French. You should translate all of these, and sometimes it's hard to see which is in use and which is not in use. So if it's not translated, the best thing is to just do the translation. For example, this first one here, I'll take this one, Films Presents. I open it and I will call it Film from our projects. You have a chance to show different films and you have some additional settings here. For the moment, just translate the titles, and I will publish this module and save and close. So if I now refresh the English version and scroll down, with a little bit of luck, you can see this has now been translated. I have another module here that is called Plus de Actualidad. So there's more news. I go back. I'm still showing modules. Let me try to find the plus article. There we have it. I click on this and I will translate that to more news, and I will publish it. And if I refresh, and scroll down, this has also been translated now. So in this way, you have to translate all the modules. You will see this is obviously not in use. This is hanging way back from an old website, so not so important. You have some titles here that I have translated already with some codes. Basically, this is a module that shows all the news from the project. This is a version that is only shown on mobile phones, not on anything else. And this is the opposite one that is showed on a PC but hidden on a mobile. It's because the layout is slightly different, and if you open your website in a mobile device, this is what will show, this module, and if you open it on a PC, this is the module that will show. So the codes you must not translate and not change, but you can change the title. So these are the modules. Here's a good example. I will translate this one. And in this case, I can copy it. And I just call it News 2012-2014, and I don't change the code. And I publish it. This has now been translated as well, which is a module. I don't think it's actually displayed on the website, but if you see some modules, titles that are wrong, this is where you do it. Now I have gone through the menus and the module and how you translate that. And now we come to the very big task, and that is articles. Here you have all the articles on your website. It fills 3 pages altogether, and these all needs to be translated. At the moment, I will translate one of the articles, and that's this one with the cloth sales. If I open this article, you see it's all in French. You have a couple of pictures, and we now need to translate this article into English. So here I can filter down in let me see, category, and at the moment it's about the projects. This will display the 4 projects that are displayed on the front page. Now I will translate the first one. That's the one. So I open this one. And first of all, I have to translate the title. I will call it that for now. You can come back and change that later. The alias you can just copy, as always. And then we have the article. First you see the article in French, and you have a window down here where you will have it in the translated version. What I normally do first is that I copy this by clicking once, and now you see that I've copied the French version down in the window where I want to do the translation. This is the easiest way for the pictures, which is this icon, for them to stay in the right location, and I can just change the text. So I will pull up my translation, and I will copy this. I copy all the text, and as we have learned before, when you copy from Word, always first paste it into a notepad. This is to remove all the codes. And this is obviously the correct title. So I will put that in here. And I will put that up here. Then I come to the translating text from the top. I can see, no, my French is not so good, but I will take something that corresponds down to photo here. I copy all the text before the first photos, and I put that in here instead. I scroll down between the 2 photos. That's this text. I copy that, and I paste it in here. A little bit less space. And below the photo I also have some more text. I'm not sure, because here I have some, I'll just translate this part. There's something missing there as well. So photo, because I have no clue about French, it's very difficult for me to see what should belong where. But definitely so far so good. There's missing one address here you have to come back and put in. This is the main title. I put that bold, and I think I'm pretty happy with the translation down in this window. When it's translated, I say publish and save and close. Now this will show that it has been translated. If I now go back to my front page, this has now been translated, because the first couple of lines is taken from the article, and when you open it, it will also show here correct in English. You just have to correct this address down here. So again, if you want to correct the address later, UK article. At the moment I'm only showing the projects, and this is the article. I scroll all the way down, and I can correct it down here. So this is how you translate the articles as well. At the moment, it's only showing the projects, but later you will continue with who we are, get those translated. And one of the biggest ones would be the one that says news from the project, because here you have quite a lot of articles that needs translation. So this is how you do it. Have a look at the film, do some tries, and just work a little bit with it, and I think you will get a hold of it.